Hey guys, what's up? You know what time it is. It's another episode of Tons and Friends in Real Life. Today's episode, we'll be talking about our two favorite twin characters, Donald and Douglas, the Scottish twin engines. Did you know that they escaped from scrap and only one of them hadn't expected, and they had different numbers? And does the real locomotive of the basis still exist today? Well, today in this episode, we're going to find out. So, get some refreshments, a drink, and find where comfortable to sit. Because today, we're going to talk about Donald and Douglas, the Scottish twin engines today. So first of all, who are Donald and Douglas? Well, Donald and Douglas are two Scottish twin engines who arrived in Scotland that held the top and half. Only one of them inspected, but that was Donald. But Douglas came along too with it because they don't want to be separate from each other. So Tyler have a try to give the twin in order which one to keep. And in order to tell the twin apart, since they didn't have numbers, Donald was given the number 9. And Douglas was given the number 10. They were primarily used as freight locomotives, but at times they can pull passenger trains from time to time. Not only that, during the winter, they can also plow the snow too as well. Then one day, one winter, Percy decided to have like a deputation, although it was Edward. Edward picked Percy for the deputation. He talked to him about this, and the twins were able to stay, both Donald and Douglas, and they've been on Sodor ever since. So what are the jobs that Donald does on the Sodor? Well, like I said, Donald and Douglas are both Scottish twin engines, and traffic engines, which means they can pull both freight cars as well as passengers. But here's the question you're wondering is, does the real Donald and Douglas still exist? Well, we're going to find out. Now, what I'm going to show you is the real life Donald and Douglas, or Donald/Douglas, since they're both twins. Here it is, the real life Donald and Douglas. Donald and Douglas are based on a Caledonian railway class A12/52. They were built between the years 1899 and 1909, and a total of between 96 of these locomotives were built for the A12 class, and 17 of them were built for the 65 class. Fun fact about these locomotives, they had the same boiler use as the 1721 Caledonian class, which it doesn't look like it since it's a 440 like Edward, but it had the same body class of that locomotive, so that's why they use that boiler for it. They can move up to the speed limit of 50 miles an hour or 55 miles an hour for this class locomotive. They're primarily used as mixed traffic locomotives, kind of like what Donald and Douglas do from the show. These locomotives have 3 operators used during their time period. They look for the mainland for the Caledonian Railway. Then they were used for the London Midland and Scottish Railway, and last but not least, in 1948, after modernization, British Railways. However, after that same year, when British Railways were officially declared, the withdrawal of these class locomotives began. However, the last one was not withdrawn from until 1963, and all of them was sadly and cut up. However, it's not all bad news though. If there's one preserved today, and guess what? I got to the answer. The answer is yes! There is one locomotive of the Cloudwheels preserved today, with its locomotive A12, which is currently today at the Southampton Railway, giving tour railway attractions, since it's a heritage railway after all, located somewhere in the UK. You wanna know where that railway is? Tell me in the comments below because I'm curious. I'm pretty happy we have one of these locomotives left in preserve today. And oh, before I do sign off, I have to share another fun fact about Donald and Douglas. Remember earlier in the video I talked about the deputation? Well, at the end of the rest of the book, the town had offered them what color they wanted to be for Sodor, so they decided to pick the color blue, which honestly is pretty nice for them, but I've observed them in their black coats of paint. Not saying that I don't like it or that suit them, I like them more than black for me. However, when it comes to Brit Alcott made the adaptation of the book for her television series, she decided to keep them black with their white and red lining. But honestly, I think that's a good idea what she did. Oh, and one more fact about Donald and Douglas. Remember also in the video about their numbers before they're named 9 and 10? Well, for Donald, before he was given the number 9, back on his railway, he was named 54646. And as for Douglas, he was given the number 57647, which was 54646, which was Donald, not Douglas. That's why Douglas so away with Donald in order to be scrapped. Honestly, that book was like a good plot to make sure why Donald and Douglas came, since they don't want to be separated from each other. At the time, I was pretty surprised, and I'm pretty happy that they're still on Sodor even to this day. Is it one for Percy or that deputation by Edward? Who knows? They would have been scrapped, mainly Douglas. But hey, I'm pretty thankful we still got Donald and Douglas. And when they came back in Sodor's Land of Lost Treasure, one of my favorite characters of all time, even as a kid, was I'm pretty happy thanks to Angie Breno. Well, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for more videos on this channel, you guys. As well as more episodes this series are more talented friends and well at these trains. This is your boy Isaiah, signing out. Have a good day, everyone.